Hello, it's Veda10 August 10th. I'm Rhonda. I'm on the Take Shape for Life program, and I've been on since April of 2014. I'm down 33 pounds and very happy with it. Today is weigh-in Sunday, and I was up 0.4 pounds this morning. Who knows what happened this week? It's okay though. I am on the program, I'm walking the journey, and things like that happen. I've been on just for a few months, and I think that's only the second time that I've had an increase. So there's nothing for me to complain about. The one thing I'm going to complain about real quick, though, is that I'm having to remake this video. I did one outside right after church, and I thought it turned out pretty good, and I transferred everything to the computer, and I lost it. I lost everything on both the iPad and the computer. I'm still trying to figure out this editing stuff, and I did something wrong, obviously. Anyway, that's my complaint for the day. But I wanted to talk about blessings. I always think about my blessings during the week, but especially on Sunday, because it's something that we discuss while we're in church. But I wanted to share some of the things that have happened to me having been on this program. And I think one of the biggest things is the fact that I can stand a lot longer than I used to be able to. When I would be in the kitchen, I could only stand for about 10 or 15 minutes before my back started screaming at me. Because I'm a quilter, I'm standing in front of the quilting machine for long periods of time, or I'm supposed to be, but after about 20-30 minutes, I had to sit down. I just hurt. My back hurt, my feet hurt, my hip hurt. Now I can go in the kitchen and I can work for 2 or 3 hours. I can be behind the quilting machine, and I could work for several hours straight, but I don't, because when I'm quilting I'm like this, so I have to rest my shoulders also. So I'm able to do more physically than I was able to do before I got on program. I can walk now. I used to not be able to exercise at all. When the doctor would talk to me about it, I said I can't, because every time I do, my back locks up. I tried to walk around the block many, many times, and it would just lock up, and I couldn't move, and I could barely get back to the house. So I just gave up. I quit doing it. Now I'm walking up to a mile, a little bit over a mile within the neighborhood, and I'm enjoying that. I really am enjoying it. I get up early on the days that I'm off and walk, and then sometimes in the evenings I'll walk after work. I just don't have time in the morning when I'm working. I'm up at 4:30 a.m., and I'm usually out the door by 6:30, quarter to 7. Then I have about a 45-50 minute drive to work. I take my time in the morning. I have things that I like to do in the morning before I head out the door. So walking's one of them, but I just can't squeeze that into a work day. Another thing that has changed, and my husband's very thrilled with this, is that for the most part I have stopped snoring, and I have been a champion snorer for years. I can put probably a lot of people to shame when it comes to snoring, but he says for the most part I don't snore anymore. And I didn't even realize that. I should have, because I'm resting better. And because I'm not snoring, he's resting better, so he's very thankful for that. I'm on 2 types of medication that I'm hoping to get off pretty soon. I'm on high blood pressure medication, and I'm going to talk to my doctor in October about getting off that. And I also have a hiatal hernia. Right here, it's a physical condition, and I've been on medication for 20 plus years for that hernia. And the last 2 months, I decided, based on some conversations I've had and some research I did, to try to cut my medication in half. And I did that. I reduced it by half. And I haven't really been having a problem with my hernia at all, unless I happen to have, like, the chips and dip. That's a good, it's a on program. It's an on program recipe, and I love it. In fact, we had it yesterday. And if I eat too much of that dip, or I make it too spicy, then it may kick in a little bit. But for the most part, I'm not having any trouble with that. So I'm hoping to get off that medication pretty soon. You know, one thing that came up today in church was the word comparison, and comparing ourselves with each other and other people. And I think 2 things can happen when we compare ourselves to others. We can either become envious or jealous because we think we're not doing as well, or we don't have as much as somebody else, or why do they get this benefit and we've been good and we don't get it. Well, that's a negative attitude for us to have. And the other thing is we can become prideful, because then we think we're better than somebody else. So either one is not good. So we should only be comparing ourselves with ourselves and improving us, and then sharing that with others along the way. So I've had several things that have improved since I've been on this program, and I am so thrilled with it. And while I'm here in my studio, let me just point out one of the quilts I'm currently working on. This is one of the rooms that I work in, and it's a mess. You can see around me it's a mess, but it usually is. I'll clean it up every once in a while, but I get in here and start working, and it becomes a mess again, because this is where I create, one of the rooms I create in. So that's going to be a quilt for my nephew. So maybe you'll see it on the wall again, more completed next time. Anyway, this Take Shape for Life has been a benefit to me personally, and I would like to share it with others. And I'm hoping that these videos that I'm doing, even though I decided to step up to the challenge that Metallica Mom doing MetaFast put out at the end of July for everybody to do in August, I'm getting some benefit out of it too. I've never done something like this before, and I'm actually kind of having fun. And I'm just hoping really that what I'm putting out is helpful to somebody, because I think when we are receiving so much benefit that we need to be willing to share that with other people. This is Veda Day 10. Have a wonderful rest of the Sunday. Be blessed.